Hey, what's up guys? I'm Chris of Emery back with another video, and this time around I wanted to talk a bit about Adobe Character Animator and a little bit about how it changed my game now that I've worked with it in both commission projects as well as some personal projects. And it's a really good time saver. Not that I'm not like animating the old keyframe way anymore or anything, but it's just a great complement to my working Adobe After Effects. So here are 5 quick reasons why I think you should definitely at least have Adobe Character Animator as a tool in your arsenal. Alright, so first off, it's a very quick rigging system. Like if you're used to rigging characters in After Effects or other applications, you know it can be a really time-consuming process. But in Adobe Character Animator, you just have to make sure your character has the right names and is layered correctly in like Photoshop or Illustrator. And then when you have it imported in Character Animator, everything will just fall in place. And obviously you have to do a little bit of rigging, but in like 5 minutes or less than that, you'll have a really good basic character. And in some of the projects I've worked on, it kind of fits with having that basic style rigging. But when you want a more advanced character with head turns and stuff, it obviously takes a little longer, but nothing crazy. Like still in 20 minutes, you'll have a really good complex character ready to go. And in terms of character rigging, 20 minutes is nothing. Right, so another cool feature in this application is the face tracking, and this was probably the first thing I saw in some YouTube video or something, and I thought to myself that this will really change the game. And yeah, sure, it's a super cool feature. The ability to have your character reacting to what happens in your webcam is really powerful, and it's a real time saver, like animating everything from head movements and head turns down to mouth and eyebrows and eyes. All these components would take hours to keyframe piece by piece, but in this application you just hit record, do your moves, and then export. So another really cool feature is the Tango Tool. I use this a lot. What it does is that it applies physics to parts of your character to have them move with your character in a realistic way. And it's also super easy to use. You just pick a part of your character, you attach it to a body and applies the Tango Tool to it, and it's basically done. And with a bunch of these on your character, you'll really bring it to life. Okay, so another really cool feature is the use of keyboard triggers that I use a lot. And it's basically a shortcut for controlling your characters in ways beyond the camera movements. For example, when I want to control how my character blinks, I use B. And if I want him to look angry, I use A, and stuff like that. Okay, so this brings me to the 5th and final thing I wanted to bring up, and that's cycle layers. So when you use triggers, for example keyboard triggers, then you can choose to trigger just a single layer, but you can also choose to trigger a cycle of layers, which basically means you're triggering a frame-by-frame animation. And I use this a lot. For instance, I have this sci-fi character that when I want him to use his helmet, I just press H and it triggers a cycle of layers that I already have them all in order from Photoshop. And it triggers from start to bottom, and when I want him to take it off, I can just press H again. And the trigger doesn't even have to be a keyboard based. You can have it triggered by movement in the camera. For instance, in this case, when I want my chicken to turn his head, I turn my head, and a cycle of layers between the first position and the last position is activated. And so you can do a lot of badass stuff in this application. And do I use this instead of After Effects? No, I don't, but it's definitely a really cool complement to After Effects. So when you know when to use what, I think you can create some really cool stuff. Okay, so that's all for now. Make sure to subscribe and follow if you want to see more of my projects. I have this animation thing that I'm about to announce pretty soon, where I'm using a lot of Adobe Character Animator in it, and so hang tight for that. And also, if you want to pick up something from my Ovemery clothing store, I'll pack it up and send it to you right away. So yep, that's all. See you next time. Bye.